Research has shown that students who use voucher programs to leave a public school and then attend a private school do worse academically.
Inequities.
But where did you go to school?
But
then didn't you get to go to a private school?
Here's what's interesting.
And they need to be able to pay the balance.
No, it's the taxpayer dollar flowing, and that's what a voucher is. It's not paying it.
No, there is no last thing right now. We're going to go to break, and then we're going to...
President-elect Trump has stirred up significant attention with his appointment of Linda McMahon as Secretary of Education, leading to intense discussions across various platforms. This brings us to the spotlight today, the View panel's heated debate on school vouchers. For those unfamiliar, school vouchers are government-funded scholarships that allow students to attend private or charter schools instead of being limited to their local public institutions. However, the conversation takes a tense turn when Alyssa Farah Griffin steps in to fact-check claims about school vouchers. The discussion quickly escalates with misunderstandings, frequent interruptions, and passionate exchanges. The panel struggles to engage in a productive dialogue, leaving many critical points unclear. So let's take a closer look at the debate, separate the myths from the facts, and get a clearer understanding of this controversial education policy.
Show very clearly that they fund students who are already attending private schools. So people with money get those vouchers, use the vouchers to pay less for their private schools, and their kids go on to do well. Where do you get the money from vouchers? You pull those money from those poor schools, Let me just finish this. So wealthy families are overwhelmingly the recipients of school voucher tax credits. I'm not making this up. This has been studied. In 2020, a 2020 study found that only about half of states with voucher programs require teachers to have a bachelor's degree, require teachers to have training, require teachers to have licensing, require participating private schools.
If I may get in, just to make it a conversation.
But because I have children and because I looked at
I went to public school. I believe you got to go to private school.
There is zero statistical significance.
You got to go to private school.
Because nobody can figure out what's being said here right now. No, there is no last thing right now. We're going to go to break, and then we're going to...
All right, if you've been following the discussion, you can probably guess where Sunny Hostin is headed with this. She firmly believes that school vouchers, which allow students to attend private schools, offer no real benefits and have no positive outcomes. In fact, she argues the opposite, that they simply don't work. The issue, however, is that Sunny doesn't back up her argument with any sources, data, surveys, or polls. Instead, she relies solely on her personal experience, which becomes highly contradictory when you consider that Sunny herself attended private school. When Alyssa Farah Griffin points out this inconsistency, Sunny's reaction is priceless. Let's dive into how this exchange plays out and see how the debate evolves.
About the policies. And so the last point that I was going to make is there is zero statistical significance that voucher programs improve overall student success. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Research has shown that students who use voucher programs to leave a public school and then attend a private school do worse academically,
but
especially in math and English.
Who is going to head the Department of Education, gave $21 million to Trump, and that's why she's in that position.
If I could just respond to that,
though. Won 5 Emmys, and that's why he's in that position.
I personally worked on the DC Opportunity Scholarship Program when I was working in Congress. In that program alone, which is a charter school system, it experienced a 21% increase in graduation rates. There are conflicting statistics, but according to Morning Consult, the majority of Americans support health savings account, vouchers, and the taxpayer money following the students. It is my belief, as somebody who grew up in the public school system, believes in it, and was grateful to be in a really good school district. If you're in a school that's falling behind and your parent wants to give you the opportunity to get a leg up, your tax dollars should follow you.
But you're a school charter person, and this is part I don't understand. Doesn't it come down to less the result and more the choice of isn't the fight for the parents to say they choose it? Is that what most people are supporting?
It's simply that a parent should be able to make the best choice for their student. But I also think that there are schools that are falling behind. It doesn't mean they don't deserve education, but I don't think students should be victims of a falling behind school. Their life is at stake in it, their future, their earning potential.
But see, you went to a good school. I wasn't in a good school district. That's the inequity.
But where did you go to school?
The South. In the South, I had to start school in the South Bronx projects.
But then didn't you get to go to a private school?
At this point, it's becoming a bit of a routine, right? Every day we see Alyssa Farah Griffin and Sunny Hostin going head-to-head, and this time is no exception. Alyssa is clearly fed up, and honestly, who can blame her? While all the women on The View seem united by one thing, their shared disdain for Trump, there are some noticeable ideological differences. What we're witnessing here is a clash between a staunch anti-Trumper and a committed progressive, and some might even say a race-baiting Sunny Hostin. It's no surprise they don't see eye to eye, and the tension is playing out right before our eyes. Next voice. All right, folks, we've got a serious misunderstanding here. A clear breakdown in comprehension on this show. It's frustrating because these women, some of whom are mothers, genuinely don't seem to understand what they're discussing. This isn't complicated. It's basic logic. School vouchers are exactly what they sound like. A government-funded scholarship that allows parents to send their children to the school of their choice. It's a simple concept, one that isn't restricted by zip codes, and that's the whole point. But in Sunny Hostin's world, that's not how she sees it. In her view, supporting school choice somehow means taking money away from public schools. But let's be real. Who actually funds school vouchers? It's taxpayers, people like you and anyone else who contributes to the system. Yet Sunny frames this as a zero-sum game, where public schools are the victims. Here's a tough question. Why is the government in charge of public education in the first place? Isn't that the root cause of the problem? The public school system is largely overseen by the Department of Education, which some argue is more of a hindrance than a help. Maybe it's time to rethink the whole system, starting with decentralizing control. Public education as it stands isn't working, and it may need to be rebuilt from the ground up. It's time to move beyond outdated debates and focus on solutions that truly prepare kids for the future. Let's embrace innovation and give every child the education they deserve. What do you think? Let us know by commenting below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos every day. Thank you for watching.
Not be tied to where you live. Should
That's
not
the
be
argument for
tied
school
to
choice,
your.
though.
No,
Yeah.
it's actually
No,
not,
it
because
is.
what happens
That
with
is the
school
argument for busing.
But what happens with it's an argument for busing, not school choice, because what happens is when you live in an impoverished neighborhood like I lived in, you do not get the funding. The funding under a voucher program is taken away from your school and given to another school.
But on the flip side of that very same argument is why school choice advocates say your zip code should not determine your outcome. You should, there's this great school, Duke Ellington in DC. It's a performing arts school.
That's a great
It brings
school.
kids from parts of DC that are falling behind, but if they can get in, their life can be completely
But you
turned
just
around.
said, just said the magic word.
Well, they need to have parents who are involved. They need to.
Well, not even.
And they need to be able to pay the balance. And they can't.
No, it's the taxpayer dollar falling, and that's what a voucher is. It's not paying it.
Schools, people have to pay attention to our kids, and they don't. I don't care if it's Democrats, Republicans. Y'all just need to suck it up and give the kids what they need. You got bad schools. This is on all of you. This is on Democrats and Republicans and not intermissions. Independents. Until we decide that education is important for our kids, we will still allow schools to fall back. We will allow people to cut away at the people who need these schools. That's what I want. Don't touch that. If you are willing